Yahalal, Yahweh, Bashem, Yoshe, Bashem, Rech, Kodash, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yoshe, Shalom. Let the truth and great wisdom, Jim, Shalom. Alright. Second Maccabees, chapter 7. Right. Verse 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to take swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them that spake first said thus, What wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. Then the king began in a rage. This is Israelites in captivity, if you didn't know. Then the king, being in a rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot. Second Maccabees chapter 7, verse 4. Which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and to cut off the uttermost parts of his body, the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on. Now when he was thus maimed in all his members, he commanded him, being yet alive, to be brought to the fire, and to be fried in the pan. And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus, The Lord God looketh upon us, and in truth hath comfort in us, as Moses in his song which witnessed to their faces declared, saying, And he shall be comforted in his servants. So when the first was dead after this number, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with his hair, they asked him, Wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body? So if you go to where is it? All right, we're taken and compelled by the king against the law. One of them to taste swine's flesh. You know, we're not supposed to eat pig. Right. Second Maccabees chapter 7, verse 7, verse 8. But he answered in his own language and said, No. Wherefore he also received the next torment in order as the former did. And when he was at the last gasp, he said, Thou, like a fury, takest us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws unto everlasting life. Now, if you didn't know, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 52. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. So, any elect that's dead, when Yahweh come back, they're going to be raised. They're going to be raised. And don't forget the reincarnation, too, as well. He came back. They came back in the reincarnation. 2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 10. After him was made the third, made a mocking stock. When he was required, he put out his tongue, and that right soon holding forth his hands manfully. My goodness. And said courageously, These I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them, and from him I hope to receive them again. My goodness. Oh, insomuch that the king and they that were with him marveled, oh my goodness, at the young man's courage, for that he nothing regarded the pains. My goodness. Now when this man was dead also, they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner. So when he was ready to die, he said, "Thus it is good, being put to death by men, to look for hope from God, to be raised up again by him. As for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life." Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. He that leadeth in the captivity shall go with the captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Who led us into captivity? Well, one, it's more people than Esau, but Esau led us into captivity. He's going to go into captivity. That king in 2nd Maccabees chapter 7, um, I believe it's chapter 7. Yeah, chapter 7. All right, verse 1. He's going to be in captivity, and them brothers are going to be back. Yeah, boy. Them brothers going to have superpowers. Don't forget that as well. Be able to do more things than Superman. Yeah, boy. All right. He's going to find himself tore up in the kingdom. He's going to be in slavery after 1,000 years, destroyed. Right. Obadiah chapter 1, verse. Verse 15. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 15. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. You ain't getting away. Our king ain't getting away with nothing he did. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. Jacob, Joseph, Ephraim, Manasseh, Ephraim and Manasseh, Jacob, the remaining tribes. All right, Maccabees chapter 7. 2nd Maccabees chapter 7, actually. All right. All right, verse 15. 2nd Maccabees chapter 7, verse 15. Afterward they brought the fifth also and mangled him. Then looked he unto the king and said, Thou hast power over men, thou art corruptible, thou doest what thou wilt, yet think not that our nation is forsaken of God. But abide a while, and behold his great power, how he will torment thee and thy seed. Oh boy, when they go into captivity, ooh, how he will torment thee and thy seed. After him also they brought the sixth, who being ready to die said, Be not deceived without cause, for we suffer these things for ourselves, having sinned against our God. Therefore marvelous things are done unto us. But think not thou that takest in hand to strive against God, that thou shalt escape unpunished. But the mother was marvelous above all, and worthy of honorable memory, for when she saw her 7 sons slain within the space of 1 day, she bare it with a good courage, because of the hope that she had in the Lord. The sister, the mother, Yea, she exhorted every one of them in her own language, filled with courageous spirits, and stirring up her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach, she said unto them, I cannot tell how ye came into my womb, for I neither gave you breath nor life, neither was it I that formed the neither was it I that formed the members of every one of you, but doubtless the Creator of the world, who formed the generation of man and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again, as ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake. Now Antiochus, thinking himself despised and suspecting it to be a reproachful speech whilst the youngest was yet alive. So the king was Antiochus, whilst the youngest was yet alive, did not only exhort him by words, but also assured him with oaths that he would make him both a rich and a happy man if he would turn from the laws of his fathers, and that also he would take him for his friend and trust him with affairs. And um, and trust him with affairs, plural. But when the young man would in no case hearken unto him, the king called his mother and exhorted her that she would counsel the young man to save his life. And when he had exhorted her with many words, she promised that she would counsel her son. But she, bowing herself toward him, laughing the cruel tyrant to scorn, spake in her country language on this matter. O my son, have pity upon me that bear thee. 9 wounds, Salakia. O my son, have pity upon me that bare thee 9 months in my womb, and gave thee such 3 years, and nourished thee, and brought thee up unto this age, and endured the troubles of education. I beseech thee, my son, look upon the heaven and all that is therein, and consider that God made them of things that were not, and so was mankind made likewise. Fear not this tormentor, but being worthy of thy brethren, take thy death, that I may receive thee again in mercy with thy brethren. Whilst she was yet speaking these things, Slakia, whilst she was yet speaking these words, the young man said, whom wait ye for? I will not obey the king's commandment, but I will obey the commandment of the law that was given unto our fathers by Moses. And now that has been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews shall not escape the hands of God. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. Psalms chapter 116, verse 15. Precious in the sight of Yahweh is the death of his saints. When them brothers was dying, precious in his sight. All right, so Akia. When all the brothers was dying, precious in the sight of Yahweh is the death of his saints. Precious in the sight of Yahweh is the death of his saints.